out this.
Help, I'm pushing up.
Rotate.
Bruno, they're rotating back. They're rotating back.
They're gonna go. Just rotate, guys. Just rotate. Give it up. Just give it up.
Right.
Nice. Rotate. Put.
Greetings and welcome to episode number 36 of The Rotation with Zhack. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I am feeling good today coming to you recording this episode. We have a banger of a show. Obviously, we're going to talk about Major number 3 and the results there. A little bit of a tease of the new Modern Warfare 2 release. A lot of good things to chat about. Murph taking a nap over there in the corner. Maybe he'll join us later. Maybe who won't. Who knows? But before I get started, I know that I've been doing some live streams of the podcast lately. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys prefer me doing the live streams and you can go back and look at them, or if you like me recording the video, doing some edits in it, and then posting it for the podcast. So just tell me down below in the comments. It makes it easy. It makes it simple and fantastic. But now, I mean, Call of Duty is just so good to us. Who could not have enjoyed this previous major and what we just got and the performances by the best of the best in the Call of Duty League? I mean, it's every single event, you know that there are some constants that are going to happen. You're going to have crazy plays. Someone's going to pop off on a wild kill streak. Somebody's going to get turned on. Like that, the stuff like that, the basics, that stuff is always going to happen. But this year, the level of inconsistency from major to major of the team that's going to win, other than Atlanta FaZe, who have been, I mean, they've been there to the finals a few times and pretty dynamic throughout the season. But other than that, there's always some dark horses popping off, making a deep run. And this past tournament, we saw a couple of them. But before we get into those dark horses, I just want to give my shout out to my credit, as always, to the Call of Duty League team, everyone involved with the production, the LAN event, everyone on site, because I know how those productions work. Being a play-by-play broadcaster for sports, I know everything that goes behind it. You get there hours beforehand to set everything up. You got to be there, do all your checks for your cables, your audio, your video, your talent. You have to be looking out for them, even though they get to sleep in a little bit. Like, even though Nameless and all of them might tell you, oh yeah, man, we get there really early. You guys aren't the heroes, okay? All the people in the production truck are the real heroes. They're getting there like 8 hours before events for setup and making sure stuff is good. And in the back end, in the truck, producers are going through meetings and all sorts of stuff that you don't even think about that matters to what shows up on the broadcast that you get to enjoy. Shout out to all of them. It's incredible. Apart from that, let's shout out the talent of the players in the Call of Duty League and break it down. First blood for this episode, it's pretty straightforward and obvious what it's going to be. The Seattle Surge are your Major 3 champions. Shout out to those guys, man. Those guys popped off and played incredibly well. And obviously with the track record and the history of the organization, in times, we have clumped the Seattle Surge in with Paris Legion, London Royal Ravens when they were failing. Like, they've been a bottom barrel team in the Call of Duty League. I remember back at their inception, everybody was super excited because it's like Octane is the face of the franchise. These guys are going to be incredible. And then it just wasn't their time in Modern Warfare. Then it wasn't their time in Cold War. And it's like, okay, Seattle Surge, they're cursed. They're just, they're not good. But you know what they are? We all know exactly what the Seattle Surge are. It doesn't matter. This is what's great about history and rivalries being formed. It's like in the NFL, you get drafted out of college to the Green Bay Packers, you know you hate the Chicago Bears. Like, that's how it goes. And the rivalry equivalent in the Call of Duty League is that the Seattle Surge are the Atlanta FaZe Killers. I don't know what it is about these guys, but they always beat the Atlanta FaZe. They play their best when they're up against the best, and they take them down. And they did it twice in this major. It's just absolutely immaculate what they're able to do. The Surge pull off the reverse sweep in winners finals to take it 3-2 over the Atlanta FaZe, and then a 5-3 victory in the grand finals. They are the FaZe Killers. It's like the Nikki D curse. I don't know what it is, but whenever there's LAN, Seattle Surge, and Atlanta FaZe, the collision course is going to be a freight train brought to you by the Seattle Surge coming to beat the Atlanta FaZe. It's incredible. But the Seattle Surge mark the third major winner of the season, and it just continues to attest to the point that it shows how hard it is to win in this league. Like I mentioned, the consistency, like Atlanta FaZe, they're always going to be good, but we have had 3 different major champions. Optic won their own major that they hosted, which is absolutely incredible. And then you get the LA Gorillas, another team who is a team of one of those bottom barrel in the Call of Duty League when we think, nah, they don't have a chance. And then they get the performance of a lifetime out of Spart in place of Gunless in Major 2, and we're all mind blown, and he's just found the meta with the Volk and gotten things going. And now the Seattle Surge. So it's really only been one quote-unquote juggernaut in Optic Texas that have won a major this year. I love it so much. Like, seeing LAN be brought back together, the competition is always different. And this is a testament to that, and it proves it, because I know time and time again we can say, oh, online COD, it's not that different from LAN, but take a look at who is excelling and how different every tournament has been so far. And I guarantee you we will have a 4th champion of the 4 championships this season when we get to NYSL's major in mid-July. It's incredible, but to stop bouncing around and talking about that, let's focus on the Seattle Surge for a second. Then I can bring about my points when I'm referring to what's going on with the Call of Duty League and how much variation there is in the competition. So straight up, you just have to tip Seattle. You can't get away with not doing that. It's incredible to see how well these guys played, and it was good to see Matt get his chance. We remember he was in a spot in a tournament previously on LAN, and he's puking his guts out. He can't go. They have to sub in, and they end up, nothing comes of it for the Seattle Surge. Mac is one of those guys who's had his head down. They won an event with, Mac had won an event back in MW 2019, and then after that, it's just kind of a lot of people put him on the back burner as a good AR, and he has a lot of passion. I will give Mackenzie Meltz those props, is that he has, anyone in this league is going to have the raw gun skill, natural talent, but the dedication to succeed, wanting to make chemistry with your teammates and actually believing in the process, like that's something that Mac has bought into, and it shows in his gameplay. Apart from that, the 2 rookies have just been going absolutely ballistic. Pred is your MVP, first Australian champion in the Call of Duty League, so that's a really cool storyline, and shout out to him. And then Sib just plays off so well. I love the energy and the charisma that Pred and Sib bring to the CDL. Sib especially, he's not afraid to talk his shit. He's one of those guys who's like, yeah, I just won a tournament and I'm going to let you know. You can tell he's one of those guys, and just by his look and the way he carries himself as a personality and his ego, not in a bad way. Like when you hear the phrase oh, that guy has an ego, it's a bad thing. But his ego is like a belief in himself and a confidence that just exudes and speaks volumes to the kind of person and competitor that he is. So these 2 rookies were just absolutely nuts. Pred, obviously MVP, had the performance of a lifetime on LAN, and everything was just clicking for these guys. I think they had a 1.05 team KD. Their win rate on certain modes, like 80% in SnD, that's what wins championships, and they got it done. Everything stacked up in the Seattle Surge favor, the way that they were playing in this major, and it shows now that they're champions. The last player on the roster that I haven't talked about, because you know what they always say, you have to save the best for last. Accuracy, aka Lamar, whatever you want to call him, the Iceman, he is a consummate professional. This guy is so selfless, and I've always loved him since his days on TK back in World War II, which was the last time that he had won a big tournament. Just the way that he carries himself, you can tell that he's a natural-born leader. A lot of people, when they think of competitive video games, you think it's just a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-old hotheads with egos that are just going to clash, and their raw talent takes over, and that's why they win. Accuracy is one of those savvy veterans where his experiences throughout Call of Duty and competing for such a long time, he's able to bring those to the rookies and talk them through tough situations, keep them level-headed and in the game. You can see he did this in the post-game interview. It's giving me goosebumps just thinking about it. the first thing Accuracy does is talk about how great everybody around him is. He's not like, yeah, I had a pretty good performance. His thing is, Pred, you deserve the MVP, man. You were that guy. Mac, you fought through so much. How you've battled in scrims coming off of being ill on the main stage and not being able to compete when you wanted to. And Sib has joined this team and been so incredible. These rookies and the way that they perform, it just makes me look up to them and it makes me a better player. When you hear something like that, that's leadership. That's an intangible quality that you cannot teach. It's just something that Accuracy has, and even stemming down from the coaching staff and the organization owners, they have a lot of respect for Accuracy, and I think that he is a big piece on why they won this major tournament. He's just such a likable guy is the big thing. Like, you think about the staple names in the Call of Duty League. You got, Zuma, Enable, Scump, Sensor, Nade Shot, all those guys from back in the day, the OGs, Karma, Crim6, Clayster. I know you obviously have to talk about them. Then you get JCap, Mud Dog even competed back in the day. But all of those guys have a mutual respect for somebody like Accuracy because he's been around the scene so long and they know what he contributes to a team. This just happened to be one of those times where Accuracy contributed in a big way, both with his play and with his intangibles that he has for the team. I think he might have been the main reason why they won this major tournament. Obviously, the gameplay from Pred, Sib, Mac, it's incredible. Like, they fried, they were able to outslay the juggernaut that is the Atlanta FaZe and get it done, beating them twice in the tournament. It's incredible. Regardless, shout out to the Seattle Surge on being your Major 3 champions. I know it's going to be a nice paycheck. It's going to be nice to fatten up the wallet, maybe the bank account, save some of that. That's my advice to you young guys. But it's just a cool thing for a couple of rookies to be major champions. That's always something I enjoy, seeing that storyline. So the Seattle Surge, they're a likable organization too. They're another one of those teams where the social media team is really great at what they do. The branding and the logo and the colors, like the blue, white, black, and the trident for the logo, like, it's pretty sick. That's merch that I would like. And now it's a team that has, some backing behind them with the championship. So shout out to the Seattle Surge on making a statement and winning major number 3. Now we got to transition, talk some news and notes. A lot to bring up when it comes to news and notes from around the league and then even outside of the league as well. I think the biggest thing to touch on is something that happened prior to the major or during the major. I can't quite remember the timeline of it, but the Paris Legion are no longer Paris. They're going to Vegas, baby. Everybody break out your wallet and get ready for a hell of a time. I'll backtrack a little bit, but my initial reaction to this is that this is a team that certainly needed change, and this will be a big one for them. The Paris Legion right now in the Call of Duty League point standings have 20 points. They are 2-16 on the season. They are god-awful. What do you do with a god-awful team? The same thing that the NFL did with the Raiders, and now they're starting to succeed a little bit more. You send them to Vegas. You send them to a town that's super dope, that a lot of people like to be around. It's a tourist attraction, and it has a nice ring to it. So Paris are now the Vegas Legion, or whatever they're going to call themselves. I personally think it's great for the brand, it's great for Call of Duty, and it's great for the OGs like me. Think about this for a second. I'm going to just say it dead ahead right now. For Modern Warfare 2 competitive, there better be champs in Vegas or at least a major LAN tournament in Vegas. Because you know who was playing Call of Duty before a lot of these new rookies like Pred and Sib and these up-and-comers who are like 16, 17, 18 years old? It was me. It was 26-year-old Zhack16 playing COD first. I love the league. I'm still invested in competitive Call of Duty as well as playing casual Call of Duty. So Vegas is the ultimate attraction for me as a Call of Duty fan, as somebody who enjoys gambling, and somebody who enjoys to dabble in a little bit of the alcohol. If they don't have a home series major or champs in Vegas, I don't know what they're doing. A large part of the demographic of fans in the Call of Duty League is people 21 and over who can have a good time in Vegas. it just makes sense. It just adds up perfectly. It'll be a moneymaker for the league, a moneymaker for the new Vegas team previously or currently, I guess, Paris, and there's just no cons to it. Like, I know some of these players, these older guys like Scump and everyone are like, no, man, I'm done with the partying and gambling and yada, yada. I mean, please, if you get first rounded in a tournament, you're going to stick around the extra 4 days until Monday, Tuesday, or maybe even extend it to Wednesday in Vegas to enjoy yourself, even if you don't win the major tournament. It's just perfect. Like, all of the OGs, it would be like the Batman signal going up into the air if there was a COD tournament in Vegas. All of the original Call of Duty players would be like, huh? Oh my gosh, there's a tournament in Vegas. Honey! I need to pack my bags. You want to come with? We can stay at the Aria if you want. You don't want to? All right. Well, I'm going to pack my bags. Hello? Work? Yeah. I'm going to need 8 days off. Why? Personal. Personal days. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Mom, Dad, yeah, I can't come over for a couple weeks, okay? Because I'm going to Vegas, and I am going to watch some high-quality, octane Call of Duty League play. That's what would happen if we have a tournament in Vegas. I see nothing but pros for this branding change for the Paris Legion, so shout out to them. Hopefully the team gets better because they're awful. I mean, plain and simple. They're just really bad. They need some roster changes. They need a coaching change. They need something to improve upon that team, but I guarantee you, you will draw plenty of fans, plenty of people who respect the game in its competitive form if you have champs or a major in Vegas. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. If Vegas is a good idea, if you would be going to that next year. And I mean, it's Modern Warfare 2. Come on. I love it. We need to do it. Let's backtrack a little bit and see where I got. Okay, so we're going to backtrack to the sidetrack because I got sidetracked in my first blood take. But talking about how much competition there is in the CDL, let's break down major number 3. So let me go ahead and transition over here, bring up the major bracket, and we can kind of talk about what I saw. This is where the consistency and different teams competing when it comes to majors and LAN, like, it just blows my mind because the Ultra, they've been a team that we haven't seen in a while. Like, they have been playing awful throughout the entirety of this year. They haven't hit their stride, haven't found anything out, and it looked like more of the same when they got 3-1 against FaZe in the winner's bracket. Then what do? They go on a hell of a run. They give up one map to the Legion, then they sweep Rocker, who, I'll be the first to admit it, they ruined a lot of my predictions. Let's leave it at that. I had high hopes for the Rocker. But they 3-0 Rocker, 3-0 the Mutineers, and 3-1 Thieves. They had a 12-2 map count in that run, and then they forced it all the way to Game 5 against the Atlanta FaZe in the losers final. You can't tell me that home crowd advantage isn't a thing. I was texting my brother, Witness Live X, and talking to him, and I was like, dude, Toronto's doing something right now. They have home field advantage. And he had the audacity to tell me, oh, there's no home field advantage in Call of Duty. Did you see their walkout and their intro and how the fans reacted? That place was lit. Like, I would be hype being a competitor, walking out to that hype video beforehand, and everybody around me being from my home country, and that's who I'm representing in the CDL. You can't tell me they didn't have a little extra kick of passion to put on for that hometown crowd. They showed it. The Toronto Ultra were a different team than they've seen all season. They were incredible. They played really, really well. I thought they were going to beat Atlanta FaZe in the losers bracket, and I really thought they were going to do what Optic did in winning their own major. So they're one of the teams on the top of the list. Like, if we were doing an upset and someone who disappointed, Toronto Ultra and LA Thieves would be the toss-up for my two who were like, oh, wow, I did not expect that, and I think I'd have to give it to Toronto Ultra. On the flip side of things, the team that disappointed, I already teased it, it's the Minnesota Rocker. Like, I thought they were going to beat LA Thieves in round 1 and then move on and then, you know, do a little losers bracket run, maybe make top 4, whatever. Wow. They dropped to the Thieves and then they 3-0'd the Boston Breach, which is a good performance from them, and that's something that we expected them to do headed into this tournament. And then they just got mopped by the Ultra, and that was the end of their run. made it kind of tough because they had been performing really well in the qualifiers for major number 3, and then they just kind of fell off. So I think that's the breakdown there, but it just shows how much versatility the league has and how we can literally see anyone. This is why this major was really exciting for me to watch, because it brings back flashes. Like we had the pit with the challenger scene, and Sensor and Clayster are competing against one another there. And, you know, that's a total environment where these guys are thriving, playing like the amateur bracket. And then you go on to the main stage and you see all these different teams competing, and it just adds to the point that we either need to have more lands where there's qualifiers where amateur teams can get in, or we just need to expand 16 in the CDL so we can put 4 different pools together, top 2 qualify, then you got your losers bracket, winners bracket. It's as easy as that. MLG days. Bada bing, bada boom. I know we always bitch and moan about this and complain, and we always say we solve it and nobody ever listens, but that is the solution. That's what we need to do. I can't wait for more expansion in the league. So up to this point, we've talked about the major, how much I like seeing different teams win all the time. But one of those constant teams that's been there is the Atlanta FaZe, and there were some storylines surrounding them headed into this tournament. So Katie Bedford, who is the girlfriend of Tupac, who is the Atlanta FaZe SnD coach, she had some things to say. She was playing League of Legends with someone on stream, and he asked, oh, did they win today? And she said, yeah, they just dropped a map. And he said, oh, it wasn't Search, was it? Because her boyfriend is the coach. And she said, no, it was Search, but John can be, and John is Tupac, he can be the best SnD coach in the league, but if AbeZy doesn't want to show up and be the worst version of Dashy because he hates the game and he hates playing and he's not trying, he's not showing up to 8s, and it's just like, damn! Like, I get it. You can come home, like an average 9-to-5 worker can come home from their work day and be like, oh yeah, honey, it was a terrible day at work. My boss yelled at me and, you know, this, that, and that. But Tupac's got to be airing some stuff out for her to have the audacity to share that behind-the-scenes disclosed information on stream. You know what I mean? Like, all respect to Tupac. I love him. I always loved him as a player, as a streamer, and he is probably the most brilliant SnD mind in the community. Not taking anything away from him there, but for her to be saying that, and we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, for all we know, maybe that is what's going on. Maybe AbeZy isn't showing up, but that is not something that can be aired out, because then there's an internal dynamic with the team where everyone's fighting against each other, and there's the fact where, is the team going to listen to any advice Tupac gives them anymore? Because they're like, man, screw you, Pac. You're going and talking to your girlfriend, and you're speaking all this shit about us, and now it's, you know, putting us in a negative spotlight. So then it was asked about at the major, and Simp said something along the lines of like, yeah, I think people who don't know what's going on need to keep their minds out of our business and keep their mouths shut. So a whole can of worms has been open there in the Atlanta FaZe camp. I don't know what's going on. I am not attributing any of that drama to them losing in the finals. I think Seattle Surge were just the better team this tournament, the better team in the grand finals, and the better team on the weekend. Like, plain and simple. But regardless, that's just a crazy situation that unfolded to me. So we'll see what happens from there. I don't think it's going to end up affecting anybody or anything with the Atlanta FaZe. But just kind of nutty that happened, and that, you know, Katie Bedford, she used to work on the desk for the CDL, so she is very intelligent. She's wise. She knows a lot about Call of Duty, and, you know, you learn some things that happen behind the scenes when you're on the desk and working for the league as talent. But it's just crazy that it's because it's someone within the coaching staff of Atlanta FaZe, and then she gets word of it. Maybe he's complaining about it, but she's the one to air it out. Just not a good look in my opinion, but people around the league could be saying it too about AbeZy and not showing up. I don't know. Like I said, my hands are tied on this one. I couldn't tell you. I don't have the truth of the scenario, but that is just my reaction to what happened with that scenario. It's kind of crazy. So that kind of wraps up my talk about, well, let's go ahead and show this one last thing before we stop with that. So let's bring this back here and look at these standings. Look at how tight the league is right now. FaZe and Optic at the top with 260 and 225, and Seattle Surge with that major win just catapult into third. 25 points above the running London Royal Ravens. Let's try that again. Let's say it 3 times fast. London Royal Ravens, London Royal Ravens, London Royal Ravens. Okay, we're back on track. catapult over the London Royal Ravens in the standings, and look how tight it is between 4th place and 10th place. 30 points separates the Ultra in 5th all the way down to the Mutineers in 10th. That's insane. It's going to be a tight race for seeding, headed into champs, headed into Major 4, so I'm excited to see where it goes, and it just proves to the competition this year. That's where we'll kind of end it when we talk about the CDL specifically. We'll look at the schedule real quick for you guys so I can kind of plug the CDL, show you this, NYSL Major 4. So that stage qualifiers June 24th through July 17th. So today is June 9th, which means we got some time to wait, unfortunately, until we see some Call of Duty again. So we don't know if, meta's going to change, who's going to be good headed into the qualifiers, but we'll have a little bit of a break and then the next major. So that's kind of where we'll cut off the talk about the CDL. But something that snowballs into the CDL is next year's title. And man, oh man, we got the cinematic trailer and release for Modern Warfare 2. Now, for those of you who don't remember, this Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, it's going to be the Call of Duty that we play for 2 years. So we need it to be great for competitive. My initial reactions, I'm going to react and watch the gameplay campaign trailer a little bit. I'm not watching all 7 minutes with you guys, but I'm going to watch a minute or so with you guys and give my honest reaction. I haven't seen it yet. I fast forwarded up to this part in it to where I thought it looked kind of cool. But I watched the cinematic trailer of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 releasing October 28th. And they always knock it out of the park with that. With the cinematics, it always looks badass. It gives you goosebumps. It gets you riled up. And if you didn't like the game the year before, you're like, yeah, so much hope for Call of Duty. Now, I'm not that way because I really like Vanguard. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying playing it. But the name Modern Warfare 2 has a lot to live up. So much nostalgia between the OGs like myself playing Call of Duty. We're holding this to a high standard. Modern Warfare 2 better be great, better be incredible for competitive, and they better listen. Okay? Here's the thing. I'm going to bring myself up on full screen for this point. They better listen to the community because competitive is so important to me and so many other people. We're playing this game for 2 years. You better care about us, Infinity Ward. I know at the trailer we heard that resounding, world-famous ping. You guys better listen to us and make this game lit. You have had content creators and you have had Call of Duty League professionals go and get some gameplay in. Listen to their feedback. Give us a good ranked play, even if it's not upon release because you got to figure some things out. Okay, I get it, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Give us ranked play in a timely manner when we're scrimming and going through stuff, okay? Listen to the feedback of what we have to say. And now I'm going to give you my wish list, okay? You better bring the old MW2 kill streak system in. I better get to select 3, and I better get a Harrier Strike, a Chopper Gunner Earn AC-130, and the Tactical Nuke damn sure better be back. Okay? You listening? The cinematic release looked great. I'm already in love with Modern Warfare 2. Captain Price is back. It looks badass. But listen to us as a community. We want it to be fun for casuals. We want it to be incredible for competitive and the Call of Duty League. We're holding you to a high standard. Listen to the feedback of the professional players and content creators who have played it and live up to the expectation. Okay? The ball is in your court. Let's make this game great. Let's make it incredible. Let's make it worth 2 years of playing it for both casuals and competitive lovers. I love Call of Duty. Come on. All right. Let's go ahead and bring back the Google Cam, and we're going to watch a little bit of this live gameplay here, okay? Make sure we got volume on here for you guys. Good, good, good. All right, let's react. Okay, so this is a campaign mission that we're watching right now. Oh, I like the scope. It's like the VLK from Modern Warfare. Dude, that gun sounds mean, to be honest. The sound effects of the gunfire is spot on for me so far. Like how it has the deeper bass and the thud, like the do-do-do-do. Okay, mounting is back. That's cool for casuals, but mounting is always disabled in the Call of Duty League, so we don't care. Nice. What's this guy playing on right now? Like 3 sensitivity? Okay, so sliding is back. Sliding is confirmed. We'll see if slide canceling and mechanics are breaking. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna throw up. Whoever's playing, take off motion blur. Please fix your settings. Yeah, the gunfire is sick. Okay, so you get kind of the bobble and the sway with the gun though. That looks pretty natural and realistic. I kind of like that. My favorite thing so far is the sound effects of the gun. Oh, stun out. Nice. Yeah, clear him out, baby. Oh, that blood, that's realistic. Okay, so he's acquiring Molotovs and flashes. This is campaign mission, remember. I haven't played campaign in years, so I don't know anything about the storyline, but I'm just looking at like the gunfighting and the gameplay, how that looks is what's important to me right now. Like, the graphics, everything, it looks like Call of Duty. It looks sick. The weapons are nice. I've seen, you know, other videos where the SMG kind of looks like a Vector is back. This looks like the, what was the old AR, like the Remington 38 or something, or like the basier ACR. Okay, so here's the SMG, nice. So we got the lean. This is wet work. So we got the suppressor. Oh, careful. Cargo's gonna come get you. Yeah, that's the Vector for sure. So we got that, and then either like the Remington 388 or whatever that the AR in Modern Warfare 3 was called. You guys know which one I'm talking about. Or like the ACR. But the sound effects are incredible. It looks lit, and it's like, we're gonna stop it right there. No shotguns, get them out of here. But it looks incredible, and it's like, how can you not romanticize about a new Call of Duty? It's something that I'm nostalgic about. Every single time it happens, when there's going to be a new release, I'm like, oh, please be good. Come on, baby. New Call of Duty. Let's get it. It's the exact same thing now. I'm hype. Like, just looking at that, my initial reaction, let me know what yours is down in the comments below here on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you're checking this out. But my initial reactions, the gunplay looks good. The sound effects are great. You can't really see much about movement and how crisp it is because it's not multiplayer. Like, I saw he could slide. He had motion blur on. I didn't like that. Making me dizzy. But it looks great. High hopes again. Please listen to us. I'm excited for MW2. One more thing we got to do before we get you guys out of here to end the podcast. We're going to bounce back into some Call of Duty League talk here because you can't leave without doing this. You can't leave without discussing who's the best in the game. Thank you, Sir Scumpy, for that introduction to this segment. It shouldn't be any surprise. I know I teased it like it was going to be, but best in the game has to go to the MVP himself. I'll tell you what, this guy is swole. He's got the guns that I don't have. I'm a runner. I'm not a weightlifter, okay? I could outrun who the best in the game is in distance. I couldn't outlift him, though. Pred is the best in the game. This guy put on a clinic and a performance at Major number 3. He was among the top of the top in overall KD with a 1.11. That's what he had in hardpoint. Then in SnD, a 1.08 and a 0.99 in search and destroy. He made plays all the way around the map. He was huge when the Seattle Surge needed him to be. Like I said, the MVP has got to be the best in the game. He was an integral piece to this victory for the Seattle Surge. He's a rookie, doing it on land, doing it on the main stage. I think he will continue to fry. You got to tip your hat to Pred. He is the best in the game. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to episode number 36 of The Rotation with Zhack. I appreciate all the love and support, always and forever. Make sure you share us here on YouTube, Zhack16, Twitter, Zhack16, Spotify, Zhack16. Look up The Rotation with Zhack. It's as simple as that. Let's grow the community. Let's keep talking Call of Duty. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. And with that being said, I love you all, and we will see you next time. Peace.